Hey, everybody. Today, I have the great pleasure of interviewing Miss Grand Netherlands 2021, Nathalie Yasmin Mogbelzada. So we're just waiting for her to enter the chat room. And while we're waiting, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now by clicking the subscribe button below and also click the bell icon to get instant notifications for the next video. Love you guys. I think she's already in. Let me see. Let's admit her. She's connecting to audio.
Hi.
Hi.
Wait a second. I'm trying to put everything up so it's resolved.
Take your time.
I'm here.
How are you?
Good. Wow. So excited to be here.
Oh my God, you are so gorgeous. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Stunning.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, do it the other way around. You had it the other way before.
Tilt it again.
Yeah, but it's
Like,
perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. Awesome.
there. So amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really, really keen and excited to be here and to do this interview with you.
Well, actually, it's my pleasure, and I'm so happy you agreed to do the interview because I've been following you on your social media. And of course, I always check your Instagram account. And I said to myself, oh my God, this young woman is so gorgeous. I just have to get to know her better. So I contacted your national director and I asked him, could I please interview Nathalie? And they immediately said yes. So go ahead and contact her directly. And there you have it. There you are talking to me.
I'm so happy you contacted them.
So you must be really, really excited for Miss Grand International 2021.
I am extremely excited. Extremely.
Yeah.
I cannot even express how excited I am. Like, I'm counting days until the day that I'm going to Thailand and to meet everyone and start the journey. Well, my journey already started because I'm already preparing for it, but like to actually be there is so different.
Have you been to Thailand?
I have. I've been there in 2017. Okay. And I went to Bangkok and to Koh Samui, another island, and it was so beautiful. And I told myself, I need to go back to Thailand. Little did I know that I would go back for a pageant. So yeah, that's amazing.
Now, have you arranged your travel, your airfare ticket and all that stuff?
It's arranged, yes. Yes, I'm currently doing the certificate of entry to enter Thailand. So I'm requesting that one right now. That's like the step we're at right now. And if that's approved, then I believe everything is done then. 48 hours before I leave, I need to do a PCR test and I'm good to go.
That's wonderful. So Thailand does not require mandatory vaccination. They just require a PCR test, correct?
No, they also require you to be vaccinated for the Sandbox program, but I am already vaccinated. I was already vaccinated before I was informed that I would go to Thailand because I personally love to travel and it was my own choice to get vaccinated. Are you vaccinated?
No, I'm not because I have my own reasons because I think that's the problem. And I think that's one of the questions that I meant to ask you today because, you know, I live in America. And Americans value their individual freedom and also their choices. You know, if people want to get vaccinated, you know, that's their choice. We all have personal choice, especially if you live in a Western society where we enjoy all our personal freedoms. If you want to get vaccinated, if you think it'll make you feel better, go for it. I don't have any problem.
Yeah.
But what my main problem is, the governments are actually pushing everyone to get vaccinated, and they really believe that this vaccination is good for everybody, which is not true, which is not the case.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Because every person is different. We all have different medical history. And for me, I don't want my private medical information to be revealed to everybody out there. this is my personal business. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's very, very tough, but we're going to talk more about that later. Now, of course, I know you, a lot of people know you, but to the rest of the world who may not heard of Nathalie, who is Nathalie? Tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
So my name is Nathalie Yasmin Mogbelzada. I am born and raised in Amsterdam. To me, Amsterdam is the Netherlands, and I don't know anything else. Well, I'm just joking, but like mainly I just prefer to stay in Amsterdam. That's just a place that I feel comfortable with. There's like so much to do. Many people come from like different provinces to Amsterdam because it is the capital city. So, to me, Amsterdam is just like it, and it's amazing. And don't get me wrong, because despite loving Amsterdam so much, I love to travel the world because I can actually meet more people and new cultures and to like get more knowledge about things that go around in the world. So that's really amazing. I live with my parents in an apartment in Amsterdam. I have two siblings. They're younger than me. One is 22 and the other one is 8 in a couple of months.
Oh, wow.
Weeks, couple of weeks. Yeah, she's a lot younger than I am. So that was really, really nice to see her like grow up. And it's also so funny to see because like, despite like having the same parents, I feel like she's growing up so differently than I did. Like, the new world, TikTok and YouTube, like she has different interests than I do, and it's really interesting to see that.
Yeah.
So could you tell me more about you?
Well, let me see. I live in the United States, in Massachusetts. Okay, my background is Filipino. I was actually born in the Philippines, but I grew up in California. So my entire family moved to California when I was really young. So I basically consider myself, an American. Yeah. So, but I majored in French. I speak fluent French. I speak Spanish, English, and also Filipino. And I've learned several European languages, including Portuguese, Danish, and German, but not Dutch. I have never learned Dutch.
Well, you should.
I heard it's a fairly difficult language to learn. Is that true?
Well, to me, it like seems almost natural because that's like one of the first languages I learned. But like I've heard before that to others it's difficult. For example, our G is pronounced as the I can imagine that not everyone can do that. Yeah. And what I've often heard is that it's like a mix of like French, German, and English all combined together into our own little language. Yeah. But also,
I also heard that Dutch does not have the hard G sound, the G. You don't have the G sound.
No. Do you? We have G.
The K. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be very hard for me, I think, because I like pronouncing the G. Anyway, so you're 24, correct?
Yes.
You're 24.
Correct.
Now, how did you get interested in pageants? I know that you competed in Miss Tourism Queen International 2015 in China, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How did you do at that pageant?
At that pageant, I think I did very well. I won that pageant, so I think that's like a great achievement.
Oh, you won! You won that pageant?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Durr! I didn't know that at all. Oh my God!
Yeah,
sorry.
So I think I did pretty well.
Okay. So you won that pageant. Okay, people. She won that pageant, Miss Tourism Queen International 2015. Okay, 6 years ago, but still worth celebrating. Woo! All right. Yeah. Good. Now, you also competed in Miss International 2017. How did you do?
I did not place at all.
Okay. But of course, you must have enjoyed Japan. And
I did. It was amazing. It was my second time Japan. Okay. And I saw things from a very different perspective because you were going there with an organization and like they really introduce you to like the culture, the things that as a tourist you don't often experience. So that was really, really amazing. And it was really a blessed moment as well.
That's wonderful. And then, of course, 2 years later, you went to Poland to compete in Miss Supranational 2019, which was won by Thailand. Our beautiful Antonia Porcel. You made the top 25, and you were also proclaimed Miss Elegance, and you also won the Best Influencer Award, correct? That's an amazing feat. That's wonderful. That's amazing. So would you consider yourself a pageant veteran?
Yes, definitely.
At 24.
I will say, and like in the pageant scene forever, my entire life, even if it's like not competing anymore, watching pageants, listening pageants, enjoying other people, their stories. If someone would send me a direct message like, hey, could you advise me, or how did you do this, I would forever be ready to answer all those questions.
Well, see, the good thing about being a girl or being a woman is that there are so many pageants available for women these days of different age divisions. So you can be 45, 50 years old and still be able to compete.
Still join a pageant.
You know what I mean? It's going to be your professional hobby, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely my hobby. I would put it on my hobby list, like pageantry.
Exactly. Now, of course, you know, you seem like a very sociable, very warm, lovely person. Would you say that you have a lot of friends, Nathalie?
I would say I have a few close friends, and I'm a very social person, as you've noticed probably. Yes. And I love to get to know new people, but they're more like acquaintances. And I can like count the amount of friends, like real friends, on like two hands.
Right. Exactly.
What about you?
I have a lot of Facebook friends, about 2,700 Facebook friends. But in reality, I probably only have like 3 good friends that I really trust, because it takes, I've known them for years, because it takes time for, you know, for people to develop trust and confidence between each other. So that's why I'm also very, very selective who I want to be friends with, basically.
Can I be your friend?
Right now, honey, you are my #1 friend. Okay.
People, I officially made it. I'm Rafa's friend.
And your national directors are amazing. They're also my wonderful good friends, Robin and Stefan. Yeah, they're amazing. Hey, Robin and Stefan, if you're watching this show, send you kisses.
Lots of kisses, lots of love.
Now, of course, you're social, but your close friends, what 3 adjectives would they describe you besides being social and friendly?
Besides being social and friendly, 3 more.
3 more.
I think they would call me crazy, as someone that likes to learn new things, and someone that's always open for everything.
Okay, those are actually important qualities for Miss Grand International. So, Mr. Nawa, if you're watching this interview, please consider Nathalie, okay, as a potential winner. Now, what do you do for fun? How do you relax? How do you pass time?
So, like mentioned before, one of like my biggest passions in life is definitely traveling. Like, if you'd be like, hey, let's go to somewhere to travel around the world, I'm always down if it like suits schedules. Like, I'm always down. I would be forever like down. I always like wanted to go to America. It's like #1 priority at the moment. Like, the next country I'm going to after Thailand must be America. And I have always wanted to go to LA. Furthermore, I love hiking in mountains. I really enjoy that. I like baking, sweet stuff mainly. Nice. I don't like cooking, but baking, I love to bake. I like to read books because I can like get more knowledge about psychology as well, because I never studied psychology. I studied media and international business. So that's like completely different, and psychology is something that always fascinated me, because I feel like a lot of psychological aspects happen in media, and that's also being abused by people who try to sell you stuff, and the way we use social media. So I think that's really interesting to know, and also to like educate myself to not be trapped by those kind of things as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
I totally agree, because whatever you put out there remains permanent. It'll never go away. So you can program your computer to delete all the emails or the other postings that you don't want to do, but they're always going to be there. Like 1 second, like 1 second after you post something on your social media, some crazy people out there will do a screenshot and keep that screenshot in their files forever, just in case, you know what I mean? So young women, anybody out there, you know, in social media, be very careful. Watch out what you post. Good.
Take care of yourself. Yeah.
Good. Now, do you have a role model, Nathalie?
Yes.
Who is the person that you look up to the most?
Unfortunately, my role model.
That's okay.
Sorry, my role model already passed away. My role model was my grandmother. She still is my role model. She was always like very elegant, graceful, and very feminine. And she taught me my norms and values in life, and I live by that. So she's definitely my role model.
That's great. If you were have to have your dream job, what would it be like? What is your dream job?
So honestly, I haven't found my dream job yet, but I already know what my dream job needs to require. I want it to be a remote job so I can travel the world. Like I want to be able to do the job and just like travel around, and it's not important to stay in an office. That's definitely one mandatory requirement, like top of the list. I don't even mind how much I earn. I should just be able to like travel around the world.
Well, have you ever thought about becoming a travel vlogger? You can have your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have considered that, but I feel like there's so much competition and I haven't found like an original idea yet that has not been there out there yet. So, and I feel like if you are going to create content, it must be original and something renewing on the internet. And I haven't found that yet. So who knows, maybe if I get like something that is bringing something new to the internet, then I would definitely be down to do that. Because like I said, I'm a real foodie. I love to eat. So, you know, something with food, travel, and like social media, I'm in. I'm down. Definitely. Dream job.
You never know. Maybe after your pageant stuff, maybe you can go ahead and launch your new YouTube channel, etc. Because you already have a lot of followers. So hey, you know, never know.
True. Yeah, but the thing is, I also like whenever I consider starting a channel, I always question myself, like, should I do it in Dutch or should I do it in English? Because like in Dutch, I already have some followers, which would make it easier for my channel to launch. But in English, I feel like I can express myself better and like there is a bigger audience. But because there's a bigger audience, it also means that there are more competitors. So it's like, what should I choose?
Oh, you can do bilingual, Dutch and English.
I don't think that will work. It's a great idea, but I don't think that will work.
But I would say that the majority of the Dutch people are fluent in English. So even if you did everything in English, they would be able to understand you, right?
True, but the people that follow me are quite young people, so they haven't really developed their language.
Well, force them to learn English, for Pete's sake.
You need to learn English, otherwise you can't watch my channel.
is the universal language. Okay. Anyway,
you should.
So, well, I've never visited the Netherlands. I've heard so many good things about the country. How do you convince me to visit the country someday?
So I would tell you, like, you should definitely go to Amsterdam because, like, as you can tell, I'm really proud of my city. And then in Amsterdam, I would ask you, like, what have you heard about Amsterdam? What do you already know about Amsterdam?
Okay, let me tell you what I've heard. There's a lot of prostitutes.
A lot. Oh.
In the red light district, so to speak.
Well, yeah, words, the red light district is made for that.
Yeah, in other words, if you want to see a prostitute, if you want to check her out, you have to go to this particular district, and they actually work behind these glass windows. You can actually see them, like trying to entice you to come in and whatnot. That's one thing. Another thing is their marijuana cookies are being sold in Amsterdam cafes.
Coffee shops.
Of course. And what else? You have a wonderful, clean city. Everything's flat. A lot of Dutch people ride a bike to go to work or to commute. And it's very clean and it's a very green city. So yeah, and of course, windmills and a lot of historical buildings. And of course, the Anne Frank house is there in Amsterdam. So that's one of the places I want to visit. So yeah, I've been to Amsterdam airport during my layover going to Denmark. I've been at the Amsterdam airport, but I've had a chance to visit the city itself. But I heard it's a beautiful city.
But the airport itself is also like really beautiful. It's like one of my favorite airports in the world. And I think it's like top 3 biggest airports in the world.
Really? Okay.
With Frankfurt, I believe, on top. But like, yeah, you almost like covered everything that I wanted to show you, especially like the red light district and the coffee shops. If you're down for that, then we would have a walk around the canals. And I would take you to Museum Square, where we have like multiple museums. We have the Van Gogh Museum, the
Yeah.
Rijksmuseum, and we also have like a modern art museum on there as well, and the Opera House. I don't know if you're into opera.
Oprah Winfrey?
No, opera like the singing.
Oh,
like
opera,
the
opera, the
yeah,
opera.
opera.
Okay.
Are you
I
like
thought you said Oprah Winfrey. Does
opera?
Oprah Winfrey sing opera?
Opera. So
Opera.
opera.
Yes.
Opera.
There you go.
Opera.
That's
So
wonderful.
opera, we have like an opera house there.
And of course, tulips, a lot of tulips and windmills.
Depends on the season. Depends on the season.
Yeah.
The tulips are not always there, but there's a windmill actually close to my house, so I could also take you there. And I would definitely do a food tour with you because that's like one of my favorite aspects. And I would like let you taste the herring or like a frikandel or bitterball. You're just like, what is she saying?
For your information, I happen to be vegan, but I know Amsterdam has a lot of good vegan places right now. So yeah,
that's
definitely.
We also have vegan bitterballen. Bitterball is like a crunchy ball filled with a ragu, but then we also have like nowadays more vegan people here as well. So we also have like vegan varieties. You also don't eat fish, like fully vegan?
No. I eat vegan fish. There's such thing, yeah. It's made of textured protein basically. So everything can be veganized these days. So yeah, but that's good. But definitely, I would want to see the Van Gogh Museum, the square that you talked about, the windmills, of course, because I love windmills.
Yeah,
I think they're very romantic and very cool. Yeah, also be able to bike because I like to bike. So yeah.
Well, would you look at that?
Amsterdam, here we go.
Yes.
Now, you're 24, you're in, I think you're part of the Y generation, I believe, or the Z generation. You're no longer a millennial. I think millennials are what? I'm
still a millennial.
You're still a millennial? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still a millennial. What do you think is the biggest problem facing people your generation today?
I think people in my generation often have a low self-esteem because we're really confronted with social media. We're like one of the first generations, younger generations that also like got on the internet, and we didn't know like how it worked, what the side effects were. So you see like all these perfect pictures and like you start to compare yourself with those people, which is not real. And I feel like that's definitely a problem. And even though like more people are getting aware of it, I feel like it's hard to get it out of your system nowadays. Like once you believe that this is the way you should look, it's hard to get loose of that picture if you're like not having that like physically, well, like in your mind. If you don't like get over that, then it's really hard to accept the fact or accept yourself.
I totally agree. Now, of course, being a pageant veteran, what do you tell people who have a negative image of pageants? How do you convince these people that they're wrong about pageants, basically?
Well, to be honest, I would never want to convince someone that they're wrong. I just tell them my experience and my perspective on it. In my opinion, what I often see, like when I tell people about pageants, they're like, oh, world peace. And I'm just like, it's so much more than world peace. It's like very intelligent women empowering each other with their own advocacies. And to like hear that and to see how they're actually fighting for what they believe in is like one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm just sharing my experience. They might disagree with me or still like keep their opinion. And that's really sad, but it's sad for them because they're not expanding their horizon. They're just staying in the bubble they live in. And yeah, that's too bad for them.
Right. Well, as we know, the goal of Miss Grand International, or the mission of the pageant, is to stop the war and violence. Now, to a lot of people, they think that goal is unrealistic. As a contestant, how do you convince people that goal is realistic and it can be done?
So I would try to tell them that war and violence is not only as war and violence the first thing you think of. Because like, for example, my advocacy myself is domestic violence. And that's also like one of the aspects that we as people have like more influence over, because I luckily don't come from a country where war is a thing or happens on a daily basis. So to me, it's like more easier to relate with someone in like domestic violence because it's like closer to my country. And I think that war and violence are both like a result of people that are not able to communicate and want to gain like more power. And in order to gain that more power, they want to use the violence because they cannot express themselves in the way with speech. So I think that it is so much closer than people believe it actually is, because it's from such a small problem, it's such a big problem nowadays. And that's why I think that you should be able to consider that it's actually something that even you yourself can do something about.
I totally agree. You know, life is too short. And I think there's so many people out there who prefer to be negative towards other people. And, you know, their goal in life is to destroy other people, especially people who work to better the world.
Exactly.
And I really feel bad for them. I really feel sad for them. And sometimes I want to reach out to these people. You know what I mean?
Sad.
It's just very sad. Yeah. So if anybody out there who is a very negative person, you can stop thinking negatively, stop doing things negatively, and just focus on the positive. Look at Nathalie's beautiful face. That beautiful face will help
you. Look at beautiful Rafa.
Positive. All this, you know what I mean? Good. Now, have you ever been bullied?
I have.
You have. Okay. How did you deal with it?
So I noticed that I got bullied because I was really insecure, which made me a very easy target. So it was not even that I was doing something, it was just because I was an easy target. And like I said, people often use power and negative words. Is like violence is not only like physical violence. You can definitely destroy someone mentally by saying really mean stuff. And some people actually feel better, more empowered when they bring someone else down. So that's what happened. And when I realized that I wasn't what someone was telling me that I was, and start to believe in myself, and I was like, you know, why are you doing this? Like I confronted them, like, this is not true. Why are you telling me this? Then I gained the respect from him, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, I won't do it again. And then it also didn't happen. It was so weird to me that like just believing in myself, having more confidence was the key of getting rid of it. It was so small yet so big.
Yeah.
Have you been bullied?
No, never.
Never.
I've bullied others, but
oh, I don't like you anymore.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. Maybe I guess I'm just lucky. I don't know. You know, when I was in high school, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was very studious. I was very diligent. I was very, very serious with my studies. And I think once I had my mind focused on my studies, that prevented me from mixing with the wrong crowd, so to speak. Because I guess I was just lucky. I had my, you know, at 13 or 14, I had my mind pretty much focused on where I wanted to go. So I guess I'm just lucky. Yeah. But to a lot of young people out there, you know, they're not just so lucky. Good. Now, name 3 things that you would never, ever do. Never. Even if they paid you millions of dollars, you would never do them. Go, Nathalie.
I would never give up on my dreams, on my goals. I would never judge a book by its cover. And I would never treat someone or judge someone based on rumors that someone else has about someone.
All right. All right. Wow. Those are amazing qualities of a true beauty queen, Nathalie. My hats off to you. Hats off to you, darling.
Thank you.
Okay, of course, beauty queens love makeup. Name 3 makeup products that you must always have. You can't live without these 3 makeup products. You need them all the time. What are they, baby?
So like my number one makeup item that I love is concealer. Like love. And I want to say chapstick for dry lips. And those are actually the 2 main things. Maybe I would just like add let's say mascara, just to spice things up.
Exactly. Okay, those are three basic, makeup products. That's good. Now,
Yeah.
do you think that our culture is too preoccupied with beauty? I mean, if so, how could we change it?
I definitely believe that we're like way too focused on physical appearance. And I feel like it's really hard to change that because we often get like influenced by like those famous people. And as long as they provide that perfect picture, we keep on seeking that perfect picture.
Mhm.
It's really sad, but I think it's really hard to change that as long as we don't all acknowledge that the perfect picture doesn't exist.
Mhm. I totally agree. Now, I read that you speak a little Chinese. Is that correct?
Indian.
How do you say, um, I need a car in Chinese?
Ooh, I know. If you want to say I want, it's 我要, but car, I forgot. I did know it, but I forgot.
How
So
does
我要 and then car.
how do you say it in Dutch? I need
Ik
a
heb een
car.
auto nodig. I need a car is ik heb een auto nodig.
Okay.
Can you repeat that?
That sounds about right. Say it again, please.
Ik heb een auto nodig.
Ik heb een auto
Nodig.
nodig. Okay.
Nodig. Yes, amazing. Look at that. Now you speak Dutch. You can add that to your list.
There you go. There you go. Now, speaking of technology, do you think technology is hurting personal relationships?
I think it goes both ways because, like, for example, because of technology, we can also gain new personal connections, such as like we can connect right now, and that wouldn't be able. My grandfather lives in a different country, and I can like keep in touch with him more right now because like otherwise I need to like keep on traveling to him, so I would see him less often. But now because of technology, I see him more often through a screen, but I do see him. But I also often see that like in one household, someone texts someone else something while they're in the same house and they're like, hey, can you bring me water or something? And then it's like, then it's disturbing, like the personal connections. So I think it goes both ways.
So I would imagine that you prefer face-to-face conversations to texting, right?
Definitely, definitely. I'm a terrible texter. I feel like when you text someone, you cannot really express it because like if I say hey or if I write hey, you don't know how I say hey, you know, but like if I see you face to face and I'm like, hey, you know, you can boost that in a conversation message. So I'm definitely a face-to-face person.
Yeah, I think one thing that disturbs me is that, with texting, we rely so much on emojis and emoticons that we really cannot express our real emotions anymore because we depend so much on these manufactured emoticons and emojis. That's why I prefer face-to-face. Also, when you text somebody, sometimes it gives the impression of passive aggressive mode as opposed to actually speaking in person, face to face, because you can read the person's face, etc. So that's good, Nathalie. Good for you. Now, here's a good question. If you could teach everyone in the world just one concept, what concept would have the biggest positive impact on the entire world, on humanity?
I think a concept that would have a positive impact on the entire world is to have more respect for each other, because I just noticed that like one of the problems within communication and also like accepting each other is the respect. And that could be like the respect towards religion, respect towards culture, respect towards someone's preference into something. When people disagree with you and cannot accept, then they will judge you up on that. And I feel like if everybody respected more and have like an open mind towards it, everybody just get richer and more positive of that.
Mm-hmm. What is your position on allowing transgendered women to compete in traditional pageants for natural born women?
I think a transgender woman should be able to compete in a natural born woman competition, because the transgender was obviously a woman born in a body she didn't want to be born in. So like she was born a woman, but in the wrong body. So she should be able to compete in a competition.
Good answer.
Thank you.
All right. Now going back to the question of vaccination. Do you think that every person has the right to choose whether or not to get vaccinated?
Definitely. I think you're the boss of your own body and you should be able to decide what you want to get in yourself and what not. You know, like even when you're like critically ill, you decide whether you want to take the medication or not. And I think the same goes for a vaccine. You should be able to decide if you want it or not.
But do you think that it is right for the government to mandate vaccination to every person on Earth?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think it's still like someone else's decision. Someone should personally decide whether they want it or not. I do have the feeling that they try to mandate it right now on everyone, like you should, it's good for you. But when you ask them like, why is it good for you? They can't even explain to you why it's good for you, you know? I personally did it because I knew I wanted to travel, and I first was a critic myself as well. I was really doubting, like, should I do it or should I not do it? But I knew that it would make my life easier when I would travel. Does that make me weak? Maybe. Did it make my travel easier? Definitely. Because like when I was in Italy, you needed a QR code for everything, every single museum. That means that I would need to get tested every single day. But because I was vaccinated, I didn't have to.
Okay.
And I don't think you should do it because of that, but like that was my personal reason to do it.
Right. I think a lot of people, took the vaccine out of fear and without necessarily doing the research, because as time goes by, I'm hearing more and more people suffering from adverse effects caused by the vaccine. And also, of course, some people who have died, healthy young people who have died from the vaccine.
True.
And I think for me, what's the most troubling is that the government or whoever keeps these data are not really telling the entire truth. They're not really sharing this information to the rest of the world. So that's why it's up to me or to people like me that we have to do our own research. And also what's sad too is that nobody is talking about natural immunity. I mean, I've never heard of any doctors discussing natural immunity, which is far better than artificial immunity. Like what I said, I've been vegan for 21 years.
Whoa,
I eat the right foods, whole foods, unprocessed. I drink coffee. Okay, I love to drink coffee, but I drink a lot of water. I do my exercise every day. I do the treadmill for like 30 minutes, and I do some weightlifting. I go out in the sun. I walk the dog at least half an hour every day. I have 7 hours of sleep. I eat fresh fruits and vegetables, and I think positive. And the last 7 PCR COVID tests that I took in the last 4 months all turned out to be negative. So
same, I never had a positive test.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So I think what troubles me is that you have all these governments and countries mandating vaccination, but they're not educating the public about the importance of natural immunity. You know why? Because you don't make money out of natural immunity, but you make money out of vaccines.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
So it's all about
because I also heard that like our government also like spent a lot of money on like tests, and they're like almost expiring, so they hand the test out for free when you return from a travel.
Well, also when you travel, I know in some countries you're required to stay in a quarantine hotel, which you have to pay for with your own money. You have to pay for your own food and whatnot, and you have to take the PCR test like every 3 days while you're staying in a hotel. To me, that's a scam. Okay, so that's why I hesitate traveling because I don't want to stay in a hotel, you know,
But it's
10
not
days in a
every
hotel.
country. You could also pick a country where they do not quarantine.
What about Thailand? Aren't you required to be in a quarantine in Thailand, I believe?
No, I'm going with the Sandbox program,
Okay.
which is like a program in Phuket. So you have to like remain in Phuket for like 7 days and like get tested as well, I believe.
Okay.
And it needs to be like a SHA plus approved hotel.
Okay. But of course, you know, Miss Grand International Organization is a wonderful organization. And last time's pageant back in March, they had like 3 contestants who tested positive for COVID, but the organization took very, very well of these girls. They were quarantined and they received the best medical attention, and all 3 of them were able to compete. And I think 2 of them were placed in the top 25 or top 20. So that, which is great, you know, so that's great. So kudos to Miss Grand International Organization. Nathalie, tell me, do you have any hidden talents? What can you do that nobody else can do?
Well, I don't think that nobody else can do it, but like one of my hidden talents is that I'm like really good at reading people. I often like read body language, and that's also why I love face-to-face conversations, because it makes me better to like read the situation and the person. And it's like really hard because like usually when I tell people this, they're like, so what do you read about me? But it doesn't work like that. It's just like an intuition that I get.
Now, is there anything about you that is annoying to people?
Yes, obviously. Like me, myself, I am annoying. I can like really push, like, let's do this. Let's go. Oh, please, why not? I can like be really pushy.
You're pushing, okay.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Like,
If you're
when I want something, I want it.
yeah, because if you're not pushy, nothing can be done. So sometimes you have to be
True.
pushy, right? So that's
Yeah,
that's
it's
that's a
not
good
always. I'm
problem.
not always pushy, but I
Aggressive.
can be pushy.
Now, of course, since you like to travel, describe your dream vacation.
My dream vacation is definitely something between, as well as city trip, as just like relaxing as well. Because like I feel like when you're only doing relaxing, you can't really get to know a culture. You need to like explore the city and like get to people, locals mainly. Like if you meet a local during a trip, that's like one of the best things ever, because they will bring you to places you wouldn't see on TripAdvisor. So like whenever you go on a travel, definitely hit up like meet up with a local. That's
Yeah,
like
of
the best
course.
thing ever, and you will see places that that's like
How
not
many
recommended.
how many countries have you visited so far?
I haven't counted them in a while. I can name them if you want.
Well, which one is your favorite so far?
Ooh, that's a difficult question.
Oh, come on, be honest.
So I love China because I lived there for a year. So I think that will always have a special place in my heart.
Okay.
But like
Besides China.
I also really, really love France. And it's a country that I keep on going back to. Either it's Paris or the south of France.
Good.
Yeah, definitely enjoy that.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite country?
I think for now, of the places, well, I lived in France for a year, because, you know, being a French major, it was
Ooh.
required to live in France for a year in Paris. But other than that, I like Denmark because I love Danish culture. I've always been attracted to Danish culture. I've studied Danish, and when I went there back in 2015, when I judged Miss Universe Denmark 2015, the Danish people are just very friendly. They're just wonderful, and they're beautiful people. They're just very beautiful. And Copenhagen is a beautiful city. You know, I think much like Amsterdam, because it's flat and everybody bikes, you know, so which is great. But Denmark and Canada, I love some parts of Canada, like Montreal and Toronto. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't really
What do you love the most about the Danish culture?
I think it's the way they cherish freedom. They speak their minds without any hesitation whatsoever. They're very mindful of their surroundings. You know, they're into saving the environment, Mother Earth, and you know, they recycle a lot. They're very, very conscientious people, and that is a one quality that I really like about the
and
Danish.
really important nowadays.
Very important. Last question, Miss Nathalie. Why do you think you should win Miss Grand International 2021? Go, girl.
I think I should win Miss Grand International because I feel like I have something that I stand for and I would like to use their platform for that. Also, I have a degree in bachelor of arts. That means that I have studied media. And I think with my knowledge in media and like the experience I've gained as being a social media manager here in one of the biggest countries in Europe, biggest companies in Europe, I feel like I can use that to like let their platform grow as well and use that in a greater cause. That was so not fluent. It was like I was so ready for this question. I was like, damn, it was I wanted.
Well,
but I hope you understood.
I understood. Well, have you eaten anything before the interview? Have you had like some snack, some dinner?
I did have dinner. Yeah, I had dumplings, gyoza.
Okay. So that's good. All right. Now let's play some games, baby girl. Game number one. Woohoo! You know the game, this or that. I say two things and you tell me which one you prefer. Okay?
Okay. Do I need to like explain why I choose this or that?
You don't have to. No, you don't have to. Pizza or spaghetti, baby?
Spaghetti.
Tap water or mineral water?
Tap water. You should really try Dutch tap water. It's really good.
Okay, I'll try when I get there. Bikini or one piece?
So, okay, this sounds really weird because I never wear a one piece, but I think a one piece looks better. But because of the tan lines, I always wear bikini. Okay. So I pick one piece.
I think you girls get to pick a bikini or a one piece at Miss Grand International like last year. Ooh. I think. Yeah, you have choices, which is good. Orange juice or lemon juice?
Lemon juice.
Treadmill or free weights?
Free weights.
Gotta build up that muscle. Singing lessons or dancing lessons?
Both, please.
Both. You can't sing or dance either. So.
No, sir. I'm sorry. All
right. That's fine. Money or love, baby?
Love.
Oh yeah, right. We need money. You need money. You need love. Love will come later. Love will come later. You can wait for love, but right now, money.
No, money comes later. I would much more enjoy love instead of like having a lot of money and being on my own.
Okay. Your favorites, Nathalie. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is green. It's so like calming and like the nature is green, and I just love walking and hiking in like mountains with trees. It's amazing.
Green is the color of life. There you go.
Would you look at that?
What is your favorite flower?
My favorite flower is a water lily.
Water lily?
Lily? Okay. Water lily, yeah. That's my favorite flower. Because like when I was in China, I always saw them and they were so peaceful, just like floating on the water.
That's great. What is your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday? Christmas.
Christmas.
Christmas around the corner.
Christmas is the best. Christmas is the best.
Around the corner.
What is your favorite music?
Okay, so I have like 3 artists that I have like on repeat, and that's Ellen Walker, Dua Lipa, and Sia.
Good. Oh my God, I love Sia. I
Me
love
Her
Sia.
voice so amazing.
Her voice,
and like she's also like a songwriter, so she has like so much more work than we actually hear is like a knowledge under her name. It's crazy.
Yeah, something about her voice. I think not only her looks, her stage presence, but also something about her voice that is
really beautiful.
mysterious. It's very beautiful and mysterious. I like Dua Lipa too. If you're into really pop music, you know, she's okay.
Yeah.
She's cool. Yeah. Do you like?
She's okay. She's okay.
You,
She's amazing.
yeah. Do you like Doja Cat? She's strange.
I do.
She's cool. She's cool.
I
She's
love her
danceable.
music as well. She's also like really popping on TikTok. Like every song she makes, popping on TikTok.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure she has humongous following. Second game. I'm sorry. No. What is your favorite word?
Love.
Love. Okay. We all love love.
Love.
Game number 3. Yes or no? Yes or no? Nudity. Oh, you disappeared. Again.
I'm sorry.
You're back. Nudity.
No for me, but go ahead if you're down for that.
One night stand.
A no for me, but if someone like gets comfortable with that, go with it.
Online dating.
I personally wouldn't do it, but like I heard many success stories.
Long distance relationship.
I guess yes.
Yes. Okay.
And why not?
Surgical enhancement.
Yeah, sure. If that makes you happy, like why not?
Smoking.
No for me, but like I know many people that smoke and need to smoke, so go ahead.
Well, here's an interesting question. If you were to judge a beauty pageant and you found out that one of the girls, even though she's the most beautiful and the strongest, if you found out that this girl is smoking a lot, would you disqualify her?
I would not. If she would have like from the beginning be honest about it, I would not disqualify. Well, I would not disqualify her based on like one of her habits, because like maybe she needs it, maybe she like it calms her down and she needs it. But like if she would have told me that she doesn't smoke and I catch her smoking, then I would be more like judging her up on the fact that she was lying to me, and that would make me disqualify her.
Good answer. Alcohol, yes or no?
Yes, occasionally.
Okay. No makeup in public.
Yes, of course. Let the skin breathe.
That's right. Totally agree. Game number 4. Would you rather, Nathalie, would you rather have more time or have more money?
Money. I have a lot of time. Now I need money.
whatever happened to love?
Well, I already found love, so now I need money.
Okay, good answer. Would you rather know all of the world's languages or speak with animals?
Speak with animals. Because I feel like I am able to communicate with everyone right now as well, because like I know some English and you know you could use like hand like signs,
body language,
but like speaking with body language, but like speaking with animals, that's so special. I love that.
I agree. You know what? It's funny because I have this theory. If animals could express themselves like humans, there wouldn't be any animal cruelty or animal abuse.
Definitely, I do believe that as well.
Yeah, because we would be able to understand exactly how they feel. So that's good.
Exactly.
Would you rather find your true love or a suitcase with $5 million inside, baby?
I already found my true love, so give me the suitcase.
What is his name?
Hame.
I was just kidding.
Oh.
Do you have a picture of him? Is he like cutie?
Yes, he is.
Okay, we can just use our imagination. Would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak?
Lose the ability of speak.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you can't read, you don't understand anything anymore, and like you cannot get more knowledge. So like you would only talk about things, but you don't actually know what you're talking about because like you have no knowledge.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Totally agree. Would you rather never get angry or never be envious?
What is envious?
Envious meaning envy. You always jealous. Never be jealous.
Never get angry because like I don't get jealous that often.
Okay.
Barely never.
Would you rather get a brand new house or a brand new car?
Brand new house. Woohoo!
I think we all want houses. That's an easy question.
Yes.
Easy
Yes.
question. Now this one. Would you rather go skydiving or bungee jumping?
Skydiving. It's like on my bucket list. I need to skydive.
Okay. I would be very scared. I mean, yeah.
Well,
It's
but like not
for me.
because something is scary means that you shouldn't do it, right? You shouldn't like not do something because you're scared, because like being scared is only inside of your head.
That is so true. That is so true. Would you rather live without the internet or live without air conditioner and heating?
Okay. So in the Netherlands, it's never warm, right? So I don't need the AC, but my heating is usually on, you know, but like my job is based on the internet. I love the internet. I think the internet has amazing possibilities. So I would move to a warm country and never have heating and AC.
AC. Okay. That makes perfect sense. Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird because sometimes, you know, when I ask these questions, I ask this question without necessarily thinking about it. Because here you are, you live in the Netherlands, you live in a traditionally cold country, but of course, sometimes this question sounds very stupid, you know.
No, like, do you know how hard it was to consider like how important is internet to me?
That's
I had to pick between heating and internet.
I think the internet has become like a basic tool. It's like a basic necessity that everybody on
like
earth
need in your life.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody out there, we all cannot live without the internet.
Yeah, you're not the only one. We have the same problem.
Okay. Last game, baby girl. Give me a wrong answer. First question, Natalie. Why is the sky blue? Wrong answer, please.
Because it's not red.
I hate you. That's so easy. That was a good wrong answer. Good one.
Thank you.
Second question, Natalie. What is your favorite food?
You know, everyone loves candy, right? So candy is definitely something I eat every morning, every midday, and every evening. And sometimes when I wake up in the evening and I crave something, I go for candy.
And it's the healthiest food out there.
Exactly. It's so nutritious, definitely.
Very nutritious. And you don't have to go to the dentist because it's so nutritious.
Exactly. Like, why would you do that? Like, it's so good for your teeth.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to brush your teeth. There you go.
No, exactly. That's another benefit. Eat your candies.
To those of us who are geographically illiterate, Natalie, where is the Netherlands located?
The Netherlands. So like, like the round thing you have in like a class, the blue globe ball, the one in your class. Mm-hmm. So like when you like spin it 3 times and you just like point your finger there, that's where the Netherlands is.
Ooh, maybe I should do that. Oh, too bad I don't have a globe. Okay, I need to get a globe first. And I'll do that later. Good wrong answer. Love it. Natalie, please tell me, why do dogs bite?
Dogs don't bite. Dogs only like lick, and that's like the way they kiss, like, and that's how they express their love.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, I like that one. Natalie, tell me, when are you going to get married?
I will get married tomorrow.
Are you sending me an invitation?
Of course. Haven't you checked your direct message? It's already there.
You know what? I think there's a message right now. Oh, it went to my spam folder. Damn it. Okay. I'm going to move it back to my regular inbox and I will reply.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me, baby.
You're welcome.
How do you sleep at night?
So I always like take a walk outside. Then I look at like 5 trees that I pass, and like I will pick the fourth one because the fifth one is too far away. So when I see the fourth tree, then I'll walk like three circles around it, and then I will just like lay down there and just like wait for 2 seconds. Then I will sit and I will just close my eyes and fall asleep.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Wow,
Yeah. Do
maybe
you
I
do
should
the
do
same
that.
thing?
I should do that. No, what I usually do is that
Or you stop at the third tree?
no, I usually put my head in the oven.
Yeah, I've heard of that tactic before. I do that
And
as
I just
well.
like
Like
fall
when I
asleep right
cannot
there.
fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I cannot fall asleep, then I will skip the trees and go right to the oven.
Oh, okay. There you go. So we have something in common.
Yeah.
That's great.
Would you look at that?
Yes. Last question, Miss Natalie. Wrong answer, please. Who will be Miss Grand International 2021?
Mr. Nawad.
Woo! Congratulations, Mr. Nawad. You just won Miss Grand International 2021. Pam. Listen, I have never had so much fun interviewing somebody on my show until I met you. I think you brought so much energy, so much enthusiasm, so much surprises, by the way. And I'm so happy to finally have met you, at least virtually, and chatted with you. Now, before I let you go, is there a message that you would like to transmit to all your followers out there in the world? Go.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for like giving me your platform and your kindness and your knowledge. I think you did an amazing job. It was so professionally set up and so much fun. Like I had a blast doing this interview with you. And to everyone who's watching around the world, just really believe in yourself, because like as long as you believe in yourself and stay true to yourself, you're like on your strongest position in your life, and that's how you can achieve whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. I wish you the best. Oh, wait a minute. Can you give me some idea of your national costume, maybe, or is it going to be a surprise? Any hint, maybe?
It represents my country.
Okay, that's good enough. Okay, fine. What about your evening gown? Would you like to share some hints?
It's secret.
It's a secret. Okay.
But I will tell you, it's something renewing, refreshing. It's not a typical pageant dress. That's all I will tell you.
Okay, that should be very, very interesting. Okay,
It is.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Now, when do you leave for Thailand?
The 15th of November. So it's like a month.
It's like a month from now. Okay. So
yeah, are you coming to Thailand?
I wish I could, but you know, there's also Miss Universe, which is held in Israel December 12th, and then Miss World in Puerto Rico, which is December 16th. So, and of course, Miss America, celebrating its 100th anniversary. They all take place in the month of December. So it's going to be very, very challenging. Busy. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, it also depends on how the pageant organizations arrange their safety guidelines regarding COVID. So if they require me to get vaccinated, of course, I'm not going to go. So I'll just watch online. Too bad.
Well, I would love to like one day meet you face to face. And if that would not be in Thailand, then maybe if I will come to America, and you're always welcome here in the Netherlands, and I'll give you a vegan food tour in the Netherlands.
Well, why don't you talk to your national directors and maybe have them invite me to their next pageant to judge or whatever, to be an advisor, and I'll be more than happy to fly over to the Netherlands and meet you people. So that's great.
I will definitely tell them about that.
Wonderful. Listen, have a wonderful, wonderful trip and safe trip to Thailand. And I'm going to be following you on your social media. To Critical Beauty Salon viewers out there, please follow Nathalie on her social media. And I'm going to put the links to your social media accounts in the description box below. So, baby girl, I'm going to give you a big virtual hug.
How goes back? Thank you so much for your time. Lots of love. Mwah. And
I really
hopefully
enjoyed it. I think we will. And good luck in Miss Grand International. And I think you're gonna make an incredible, huge impact in Thailand. Watch it, people. Watch for Miss Grand Netherlands. Okay. Love you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great week. Talk to you later.
You too. Bye bye.